Welcome, punters, dribblers, traders and investors to another podcast from traderscommunity.com, as seen on traderscommunity.com, hosted by the glorious Madavi.
Hey.
With special appearances today by the maestro, formerly known as Meta Johnny, but he's looking for a name change after his favourite girl, Sandberg, has left the building. So he's looking for tips. Send in suggestions to his new title. He's been a bit distraught over it. And we also got there you heard from the great G, and we have the legendary Chemo in the house. So anyway, let's get on with it. Quite a traumatic change today in the market. We saw a big sell-off early as Microsoft warned on currency effects with the soaring US dollar, which interesting is going to affect most of these multinationals. But lo and behold, we had more short covering into tomorrow's NFP. And also there's a lot of unknowns with this QT going on, as we said. Be wary of listening to some of those dribblers out there of all their advice. No one really knows. Apparently they do, though, even though the biggest bond traders and the bankers have no they're playing a little bit by error. Okay, so here we are. So, big day on oil. We had OPEC meeting, and there was a talk earlier in the day that came out saying that the Saudis will increase production if need be, any Russian issues, etc. So that actually went under 112 down to almost 111. OPEC basically said that they actually said they're going to increase production. It's kind of a yawn for the market. Came out with another big, with a pretty big draw again on US EIA. And in fact, it's a 2004 lows as far as gasoline supplies go. And we are just hitting summer. Natgas was back up around 9. It fell about 60 cents for that. So another good, that thing is very volatile. It also had its EIA report. Remember, they're both on traderscommunity.com. The SPOOs traded all the way up. It's a 100 handle bounce today. So that's big move. And look where it was, minus 3/8 all the way up to 8/8. That was just a gift here, and it was a really easy buy, actually, double bottom and all that. The Dribbler Index, formerly known as the Russell 2000, rallied 1898. Who did I miss out, Madami? The Nasdaq, just under 12,900, 12,896. Volatility came off, and it was its lowest in quite let me look at a date. Let's see that. I did see the date. It was the lowest since May 4th. So almost a full month. I've been commenting all week that I didn't think this market was scared. And also we're coming into optionality, big optionality with expirations tomorrow and a lot of stuff. So here we have it. You can see that, the FOMO buying and all that. Okay, let's look at SPOOs real quick. Where is my SPOOs chart gone, he says. So as I said, big move there on the 5 minutes. You can see it here. And I'm a big believer in keeping this stuff simple. And like I said, double bottom. Look at this, punters and dribblers. We got down there on soft. We couldn't go. And so you never know, right? So basically, everyone's bearish. The FOMO stuff kicks in once it's up or they're in belief. That's the way herds work, right? That's why we got that picture there. the chasing of the bulls. And look what we came right into this level. So remember what we had on. If you remember, we came in off that day weekly. The short yesterday, it came down. It held that 80. So over the cover and on that shorter term, get long. Heading into the NFP. But really, basically didn't do much today. Covered the shorts, got long on that. And look what it also did. There's a double bottom. You can see. Quite didn't get there. let's have a look at the Nasdaq, almost identical. And remember the significance from psychology. I'm all about psychology, which is what we talk about a lot, is if you've got something such a big news and it can't force it to go down, it's either has to be the market's really short, interpreting the news incorrect, or the market doesn't care, right? And so that's why you combine all those issues and you leave opinions at home on this sort of stuff. Any thoughts on Nasdaq, Mado?
Oh man, another one of these days, man. Great bear market rallies that makes you remember what the good days were like. It's man, I just just same thing. I did well in the morning. Especially when we're selling off, we reversed. I gave back, and then I stayed out of trading the futures for a little bit. I went long some to protect some of the my swing trades, but towards the end I was doing good until the end of the market. I thought we were gonna get what we did the last two trading days and maybe sell off, but I guess today we just exploded.
Yeah, to me, as I was saying, I just think it was short covering into it, FOMO.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a small percentage chance that this is some massive ABC and we fly through the roof to all-time highs, but that's unlikely, given the scenario of everything. But when you see days like today in particular, it just shows you this is a broken market. It's just a gambler's paradise. And I forgot to say, remember, this is not financial advice. Gamble responsibly, right? Do your own research, etc., etc.
Today, sort of selling off the last 30 minutes, it just melted up.
Right. And I think that was more because it was Thursday. Don't forget it's a holiday in England for 4 days. It's a lot of money out of the market for the Queen's platinum deal. So she's 96. Do you think we're going to get around at 96 on balconies? What do you reckon, boys?
Oh, bro, I just be a teenager then.
So you're going to find the elixir of life in the next 5 years or so.
Yeah. They're working on it, man. They're going to rebuild you, They got like an Apple phone, bro. Whenever your body runs out, you just go get another one,
Are you going to launch a SPAC with that or what?
Yeah, have you seen those futuristic movies where they swipe out your body? If you just got to put the chip in. They already got launched.
Well,
give me one now.
So just a heads up, futures are just open up again, and it's gone for another leap. So we're at 82 on SPX and 908 on Nasdaq. 100. So they've opened it. They're taking it higher, as you'd expect. Early Asia. So I think that Microsoft news not having an effect can be taken two ways. Is it, it's just currencies? Well, that means that with the dollar that high, it expects imports and exports. It's got to affect multinationals, but you can see what's going on just looking at these charts. So let's look at energy because that was a big day. So natural gas and oil. So both had their energy reports because oil first. As I said, it crapped down. This is a daily. You can see all the false breaks on OPEC. So you got to be real careful on that. But look where it closed right at the top of that bar. So it basically was underwhelmed by the OPEC news. Then the EIA news came out. We have inflation. There's no sensible. Just listen to the dribble that comes out of those that are in power, be they central bankers, politicians. It's just hope, and delusion. If you want to have a good idea of how bad the energy policies or the ignorance, just listen to a speech from the U.S. Energy Secretary. It'll keep you going. So if we look at this on the daily, the weekly, you can see even more specific. So it just looks like one big bar, right? That we're scaling up and down. Okay, natural gas. We don't really need to look at that too much. You can see it's still these bars up here. You got to be very careful getting along this stuff. Sometimes it's best not to have a trade. Look how it closed. Unless you're short, you're trading from the short side with aggression, or you're trading with the long side with aggression. In other words, not just sitting and milking it. Gold had a decent run I saw earlier. Let's see how it finished. This TNXP. Remember that one? So gold continued up. Remember, it's a different kettle of beast. Kettle of beast? Is that a thing? Different kettle of fish is what I meant to say. From silver, and it's been getting up there. US dollar pulled back good today, so you can see that's going up. So the big level for this, if it's going to go up, it's got to break this 50,876. Silver, where's silver? Silver, you can see totally different. It is at the high, but it's just chopping in its wedge. Looks totally different to gold. Let's have a quick look. Copper, I wanted to show you, because copper had a big day today. Guess why? It broke that 50. Bang, bang, bang. So be proactive. So when you read about it up 5 cents, you actually know or you're in it, but certainly not the wrong way. Okay? Let's have a quick look at bonds. So bonds, as you can see, just still sideways in this big pennant. This is a 10-year. If you look at the yield, we're just chunking around. We've all these numbers are bad. So it becomes down to economics. So the ADP number was out today, and that was a lot weaker than expected. It's actually the weakest growth since the pandemic, when all those jobs were lost. So we'll see how it reacts tomorrow. We were talking about it today, that perhaps they're buying on bad stuff's good, right? Even though it's a commodity, it's saying the economy's weak and stocks are overvalued. People just are obsessed with interest rates. Okay, so let's look at one stock. We're going to look at real quick. This was a bit of a wild one after market, called Coles, KSS. So those that have been following, someone, I forget who it is, one of the authors on Traders Community has been doing a series on this since it came out a while back. But so this is, as you know, is I guess it's a discount retail in the US. They had a while back, someone bid $64 a share for them. They knocked it back. I think that works out at $9 billion. It's on tradescommunity.com if you want to see it. Today it came out. They, a few weeks ago, warned. They said, look, we're doing shitty, which was the opposite to... who was the one who said they were good, Madavi? Macy's. So today, you can see this bar. Let's look at it closer. What happened was they've come out and they said, look, we're withdrawing all the bids, because people weren't bidding on it. The actual auction, they called it. So it fell from 41 down to 36, sideways to here. Then out of nowhere, there was a bid put in for it. For $60 by one of the firms. And so Madavi actually had it up. I was actually preparing. Huh?
30 seconds prior to that, and I got long. How lucky is that?
Oh, mate, yeah. I mean, you need to kiss someone tonight.
Oh, man. Intuition, they call it. But you did give me a little thing. Hey, they might redo this. Remember? So I had that on my mind.
Yeah. So I was thinking that, and I was we were thinking the same thing. Then I went, we should do this podcast for the 5 people. Did I say that loud?
The whole time.
Right. So I completely missed it. So here's a thought, punters and dribblers. If you like these podcasts, start sharing them and liking them and all that, because it does take us away from opportunity and stuff. So we're trying to do the right thing by steer everyone through the pro side of stuff, what's going on. But it would be good not to miss stuff like that, right?
Absolutely.
Did I say that subtly enough? But I do notice that the dribblers out there get thousands. So obviously I'm thinking people don't want to know this sort of stuff. So, misery loves company was an old saying. Anyway, let's not be dicks. But all jokes aside, it moved up all its way from 08. That was the other thing. It was telling me it was oversold, right? And it actually bounced a bit, and then out of nowhere. So basically, you could get it around here pretty easily, 40, and it ran to 44. the caution I would have for the punters out there, investors that are looking at this. So when this came out before, I want to say, so you can see what happened here. It was trading around 47. I'm guessing this is it. Yeah, 47. It gaps up to 64. It came over a weekend. It worked its way down to 50. And then they started warning. The stock market started collapsing, so it sold off with it. So when it came to auction times, there wasn't a ton of bidders. They all pulled out. So this is what happened after hours. So you can see here's where we closed. But so just be aware of that. So it seems like, so last time they rejected 60, I would expect they're going to say that again. You know what I mean, Madavi? But so we'll see how this plays out. Keep an eye on it.
I think the board or somebody really came down on them to change the tone so quick.
Well, so this was a different person. So the New York Post reported they'd pulled the bid here, and then the Wall Street Journal said, like, how long after that? An hour? That this other person put in a bid. So they put in the bid through the paper. It was probably along the lines of, hey, man, we still want to bid for this thing. You know,
Man,
they did it through the Journal.
Lost a lot of money on this. There could be lawsuits over this.
This bit?
Yeah, but they come out and say no bid, then all of a sudden 30.
No. They didn't say no bid. They just said they're withdrawing the auction.
Yeah.
So they didn't. No, not at all. The auction hasn't opened up again. Or what this is, Wall Street Journal ran a story that someone is looking to buy them for $60.
Well, that's a bid. That means there's an auction or some kind of.
No.
Nobody else could.
Well, so what happened, right? So if we go this story back on that weekly chart, so there was one bid, $64. Yeah. They said, we want more. While that was going on, someone else said they're interested in it. So Cole said, okay, well, we're going to set this date, and you guys can all bid for it, like you're bidding for a house, like an auction. So that was meant to happen, but because what happened was Coles warned a week ago or so and cut their outlook, right? Their guidance for the year. So they didn't get anyone bidding for it. No one bloody bid for it, right? So they said, oh, shit, we better cancel it and we'll put it on later in the year. They're actually doing the responsible thing. Then what's happened?
Oh, but no date. The date left.
Huh? Well, then I think what's happened...
And your date that backed out.
Right. So, okay, Madavi's going to the prom. She says, mate, I don't want to go, bugger this. And then, so you're sitting at home, taking off your suit, you get a knock on the door. Hello, Mr. Madavi. Yeah, I'd like to get... So, all of a sudden, your prom date turned up, different one, right? And you didn't know they were coming.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happened here.
We knew about.
So, what's going to be interesting here, A, if this is legitimate, if it's just not a story in the Wall Street Journal. B, what Coles says, right, how they react to it. Because remember, they rejected it at 64. This is a different mob, I think. They've come in at 60. It's all on Traders Community, punters and dribblers. Do yourself a favour on the website there.
I might have to hold these longs. Hey, my STEN's going back up. I'm back to even. I was down on a bunch on.
Oh yeah. So I'm pretty. So I mean, I did miss it, but in reality, the day before a big number, I tend to be fairly flat. The only thing we really did was made some money on the Spurs. I had a little Bumble short. I thought that one should pull back. Well, we stopped out of that today. That was a couple of bucks. So that's really all we have. Remember, we took profit on the DDD portfolio about 2.5 weeks ago. Snap we took last week. So we're we're waiting to see this wave play out. Remember, there is a small chance always that could be a massive ABC.
Before the run up.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
Snap was... Yeah. So, just talking about Snap that we're talking about, there is a gap here. I mean, I don't see it filling, But when I see stuff like the Bumbles or just all these other stuff that don't make money that are running, you just never know, right? And so keep an eye. So keep an eye on your optionality. When I say optionality, look for the structure, look for the IOs, work out if there's much gamma exposure, meaning there's people that have to cover in on an upswing it'll be a call, on downswing it'll be a put, right? Anything else we need to talk about? Johnny's still mad at changing his name. Has he come up with a name yet? But so what we had was Bitcoin. Remember, got wrecked yesterday. It's recovered somewhat from 29.20 to 34. I mean, needs $1,000 move, so I shouldn't say somewhat, right? So that's all from me. I will have so on here. Here's everything out after hours. There was only one thing down today. It was energy. This hasn't updated yet, but it was energy. Yesterday was the only one up. So that's why I'm looking at this as a covering, confusion over things like the QT or whatever. I mean, it's a sweet name, but at the end of the day, it's still a lot of money flowing through the system. So today we had Asana out with earnings. They beat. They're down 6. Cooper missed. They're down 1.9. Costco came out with their comps, down a tad. CrowdStrike missed, down 3.3. Joanne, that got smashed. That's a clothing store or material, one of the two, down 13.3. Coles was down 7.1 when we ran this. Now it's up 5. Lululemon or Lululemon was up a couple of percent.
STEN too.
Is that? Yeah, they're down the bottom. Yeah, that's the last one on this. Yep. Okta is up 16% on earnings. RH took it down 1.9, and as Stone Company, STNE, great name, was up 24%. So that was the most successful. Bond market, little report on it. So it added to the losses from yesterday, as we just showed you. You got all your news and all that stuff there. We have the jobs out tomorrow. So if we go to here, you'll see on the site. Here's the ADP. Read all about it. And what they're expecting tomorrow on. Where is it? Here you go, estimates for BLS. So they're looking for 328,000. They're down in the NFP, down from 428. Average hourly earnings to hold at 0.4%. Headline unemployment to go lower again, which would be I think it's almost a multi-decade low. It says it is 3.5%. So that was a big miss on, as I said earlier, on ADP. Anything else, boys? That's it, right? So we will love you and leave you.
Yeah. I think you got covered it. Great job.
Good luck, everyone. Thanks. That was KSS was interesting. Keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on STRNE. See if we get any upgrades. And expect the unexpected tomorrow. Violent couple of days. Big job. Have an open mind both ways. Remember, machines have no emotions. So on that note, watch out for these bloody bulls. Stay behind the fence. And if you can't be cool,